Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn about IAM tags. It's really important topic because tags are useful for cost optimization and cost optimization is really useful topic in AWS. So IAM tags is useful topic in AWS. So we will learn about IAM tags in this video. Now let's take one example to understand IAM tags. Now suppose you went to one cloth shop to buy a jeans. You went to a cloth shop to buy a jeans. So while buying jeans, what you will look for first? Okay, you will look for price for that jeans. You will look for size for that jeans, and you will look for brand. So for example, you went to the cloth shop to buy a jeans. Okay, right? Okay. While buying jeans, what you will look? You will look for price. You will look for brand. You will look for size for that jeans. Okay. Now let's assume that price for jeans is 15,000. Okay. Now brand is, for example, Armani brand. For example, size is L size. Okay. Now it's really very simple that IAM tags are really simple. You went to the cloth shop to buy a jeans. Okay. The first thing you will under the first thing you will look for is the price for that jeans, the brand for that jeans, size for that jeans. Okay. Now here our price, brand, and size are key. For that jeans price, brand, size will be key, and 15,000 Armani L size will be our value. Okay. Price, brand, size will be key. 15,000 Armani L size will be our value. Similarly, let's assume that one more technical example we will understand. Let's say we have 5 EC2 instances. Okay. For example, we have 5 EC2 instances. Now, there will be some specific name to these EC2 instances, right? Okay, let's assume that name is equal to name for these EC2 instances will be web server. Okay, to identify this our EC2 instances, there will be specific name, right? So, for example, for our EC2 instances, name is web server. Now, here also our name will be key. Our name will be key, and web server will be our value, and web server will be our value, right? For any EC2 instances, to identify that specific EC2 instances are granted to us, there will be specific name to the EC2 instances, right? So here name will be key and web server will be the value. Then can I say that tags are key value pair? Obviously, it is the combination of key and value only. Because for example, uh, Armani is a brand, right? So the specific brand will identify this jeans. Okay, Armani will identify that jeans. So can I say that tags is the combination of tags are key value pair. Tags are key value pair. Okay. For any EC2 instances, there will be specific name. That name will be key, and that web server will be our value. Similarly, then what is tags? Tags are key value pair. Okay. Now again, can I say that tags are useful for identification purpose? Because for example, our EC2 instances name will be web server. Web server will have the identity of that specific EC2 instance, right? So can I say that tags are useful for identification purpose? Tags are useful for identification purpose. Okay. What is tags? Tags are key value pair. Okay. Tags are also useful for identification purpose. Okay. Now, tags are not any IAM specific. It is a throughout AWS, right? Okay. It is not like for we can use for IAM users or root users. Tags are useful for throughout the AWS services. Means throughout the AWS services we will use tags, and that's why tags are really important topic in AWS. Okay. Tags are not IAM specific. Tags are not IAM specific. It is throughout It is throughout AWS. Okay, tags are not IAM specific, it is throughout AWS. And also, most important, tags are useful for billing purpose. Tags are useful for billing purpose. Tags are useful for billing purpose. Tags are key value pair. If interviewer asks you what is tags, we can say that tags are key value pair. Tags are useful for identification purpose and tags are useful for billing purpose. With this example, we can understand that what is actually tax. Okay. Now moving forward, let's assume that there are two employees. One is hard worker employee and other is smart worker employee. Now the condition here is now we have 100 IAM users. Okay. There are two employees, one is hard worker employee and one is smart worker employee. Now we have 100 IAM users and want to delete only testers from this 100 IAM users. Okay, we have 100 IAM users and from this 100 IAM users we have to delete only testers. Now here what hard worker employee will do, he will do delete one by one testers. Okay, he will delete one by one tester, but this will be time consuming, right? Okay, now what smart worker employee will do, he will do automation to delete this testers from this 100 IAM users. Smart worker will do automation to delete this 100 IAM users, sorry, these testers from this 100 IAM users. Now the first thing when we heard about automation, the first thing in our mind should come, that is lambda. Using lambda we can do automation. So, okay, so what the smart worker will do, he will write one code to automate this, to delete these testers. Okay, so this will also help to him for cost optimization. Doing automation in AWS will also help for cost optimization. So can I say that tags are useful for doing automation in AWS? Okay, because we can use automation in that. Automation is nothing but we are using lambda in that. So can I say that tags are useful for automation in AWS? Tags are useful for automation in AWS. Tags are useful for automation in AWS. Okay, now maximum tags per resource we can use is 50. Maximum tags, this is certification point of view question. Maximum tags per resource is 50. Like maximum tags per resource we can use is 50 only, right? Now there is a concept called as IAM Credential Report. Okay, there is a concept in tags is called as IAM Credential Report. IAM Credential Report. Okay, now we will understand what is IAM Credential Report. Okay, now let's say that your manager asks that he wants all details about IAM users. Your manager asks you, he wants all detail about the IAM users. What details he want? Like when last credential created, when password going to expire. Okay, this all details he want. Manager want that all details, like when last credential created, when password going to expire. Okay, now they just click on the button download credential report. There will be uh, pop up like download credential report. Just we have to click that download credential report and you will get all the details. So what is IAM Credential Report? A report that lists all your account users. A report that lists all your account users and status of their various credentials. What is IAM Credential Report? A report What is IAM Credential Report then? A report that lists a report that lists all your account users and status of their various credentials. Okay, what is IAM Credentials Report? A report that lists all your account users and status of their credential. Now there is one more service in AWS, that is IAM Access Advisor. There is one more service called as IAM Access Advisor. What is IAM Access Advisor? It shows the permission granted to the users and when those were last used. IAM Access Advisor is nothing but like it shows permissions granted to the users, what are the permissions are granted to the users and when they were last used. Okay, so it's simple. It shows permission granted to the users. It shows permission granted to the users and when they were last used. What is the IAM Access Advisor? It shows permission granted to the users and when they were last used. Okay, IAM tags is really important topic. You will not see this topic on YouTube or anywhere, but believe me, if you know about this IAM tags, you will be master in AWS. Like interviewer will know that if you know SML, I taught you SML in last video, and about if you know about IAM tags also. Really, if you interviewer, if you answer those questions in interviewer will definitely know that your concepts are really good in AWS. So don't miss those topics.